Hey friends, today we're going to build a super fun balloon pop game using Python and Tkinter. Don't worry if you're new to this, it's easier than you think. I'll guide you step by step, and by the end, you'll have a cool game where you can pop balloons and keep track of your score. Let's dive in. First, let's import Tkinter, our toolkit for creating graphical user interfaces. We'll also import random, which will help us generate balloons in random locations. Now, let's create the main game window. This will be the foundation where everything happens. We'll also give it a title and set its size to make it look nice. The main loop function in Python keeps the tkinter window open and listens for user interactions. Without it, the window would close immediately after opening. Let's run the application and see what we've done. I created a blank window. All right, now let's create a canvas. It's like a blank drawing board in our app. This is where the magic happens because it's the space where our colorful balloons will show up. Think of it as the playground for our game. We'll make it light blue to give it a cheerful sky-like vibe, and then we'll add it to our main window so it becomes visible. Let's keep going and make this board the center of all the fun. Next up, we need a way to keep track of the player's score and how much time is left in the game. For this, we'll use label widgets, which are perfect for displaying text on the screen. We'll place these labels right below the canvas so players can easily see how well they're doing and how much time they have left to pop those balloons. First, we start by initializing two variables, score, which starts at 0 because no balloons have been popped yet, and time left, which we've set to 30 seconds to make the game exciting. Then we create a score label to show the current score. We format the text to say something like score 0 and use a nice font to make it look clean and readable. After that, we use the pack method to add it to the window. Similarly, we create a time label to display the countdown timer. It works the same way as the score label, but shows the remaining time in seconds instead. These labels will automatically update as the game progresses, so players will always know their score and how much time they have left. It's like a little scoreboard built right into the game. Now, let's make some colorful balloons appear in random places. First, we'll create an empty list to store the balloons. This list will help us keep track of all the balloons that are currently on the screen. Each time we create a new balloon, we'll add it to this list so we can reference or remove it later, especially when it's popped. Now, let's make some colorful balloons appear in random places. To do this, we'll write a function called createBalloon. This function will handle the creation of balloons with different sizes and colors, placing them randomly on the canvas. Here's how it works, step by step. First, we check if there's still time left in the game. If the game is still running, we continue adding new balloons. When the time runs out, the creation of new balloons stops. To randomly place the balloons, we use random.randint to choose random x and y coordinates within the canvas. The x coordinate is chosen between 50 and 550, while the y coordinate is chosen between 50 and 350. This ensures the balloons are scattered throughout the screen without going out of bounds. For the size of the balloons, we use random.randint 3050, which gives us a random size between 30 and 50 pixels. This makes each balloon a different size, adding some variety to the game. For the color, we use random.choice red, yellow, green, blue, pink to randomly pick a color from the list of colors. This adds a fun, colorful look to the game. After determining the random position, size, and color, we use canvas.createOval to draw the balloon. This method creates a circle on the canvas with the coordinates x, y, x plus size, y plus size, which sets the position and size of the balloon. The fill parameter is used to set the balloon's color. Each balloon is added to the balloons list so we can keep track of them. This list allows us to reference the balloons later, for example, when checking if they've been clicked. To keep the balloons appearing, we use root.after250 createBalloon. This tells the program to call the createBalloon function every 250 milliseconds, making sure new balloons continue to appear throughout the game. Let's call the function. Let's run the application and see what we've done. The balloon appears in a random color and position. Awesome! Here's the fun part. When a player clicks on a balloon, it should disappear and their score should increase. To make this happen, we'll create a function called popScoreBalloon. This function will handle the logic for popping the balloons. Here's how it works. First, we get the coordinates of the clicked position using event.x and event.y. These represent where the mouse clicked on the canvas. We then loop through all the balloons in the balloons list and check if the click happened within the boundaries of any balloon. For each balloon, we use canvas coords balloons to get its coordinates. This returns a tuple with 4 values: x1, y1, x2, y2. These represent the top left corner x1, y1 and bottom right corner x2, y2 of the balloon. Now that we have the coordinates of the balloon and the click, we check if the click happened inside the balloon's area. We do this by comparing the x and y coordinates of the click with the balloon's boundaries. If the click is within the area of the balloon, it means the balloon has been clicked. Once we confirm that the balloon has been clicked, we use canvas.delete balloon to remove it from the canvas. We also remove the balloon from the balloons list using balloons.remove balloon. This ensures that we don't accidentally try to pop the same balloon again. After popping the balloon, we increase the score by 1 and update the score label using scorelabel.config text f score score. Now that we've defined the function, we need to make sure it gets called when the player clicks on the canvas. So let's bind the pop balloon function to the canvas. This will make sure that when the player clicks on a balloon, the function gets triggered and the balloon disappears. Let's run the application and see what we've done. The balloons disappear when clicked and the score increases. However, as you can see, the timer hasn't started decreasing yet. No game is complete without a countdown timer. We'll write a function called countdown to keep track of how much time is left in the game. This will add an exciting challenge for the player. When the time runs out, the game will stop and will display a game over message with the final score. The countdown function keeps track of the time left in the game using a global variable called time left. We start with time left equals 30, which means the game will last for 30 seconds. Each time the function runs, it decreases time left by 1. We update the time display every second using timelabel.config textf time left sec to show the player how much time they have left. To update the countdown every second, we use the root.after1000 countdown command. This tells Tkinter to call the countdown function again after 1000 milliseconds. This loop continues until the time runs out. When time left reaches 0, we stop the countdown and disable further clicks. To do this, we use canvas.unbind button 1 to prevent the player from clicking on balloons anymore. Then, we display a game over message in the center of the canvas with canvas.createText. This will show the player their final score. Let's call the function. Let's run the application and see what we've done. The game is working as I wanted. I won't wait too long to see the final moment, so I'll change the game duration to 10 seconds. I'm setting the time left variable to 10. I'm running the application, and when the last 10 seconds are up, the score will appear on the screen. Thank you for watching.